We are done with discussing the theories of life. Now let us proceed on discussing the different concepts after the scientists discovered the cell. Not only the cell but also the structure and the characteristic of the cell. We only have four concepts that we must understand in order to master the topic or the following lessons that we're going to discuss later on. Okay, first we have the cell theory. Basically, cell theory is anything that explains the cell. The main idea of the cell theory states that all living organisms or all living things is made up of cell. That is why we define cell as the basic unit of life. Take note Take note, one of the characteristic of cell, in order to reproduce, they have to undergo what we call cell division, wherein the cell divides into two or more than two. It depends on how many division it takes place. The most common division or common cell division that you encounter during your junior high school are the mitosis and the meiosis. But aside from that, we also have another kind of cell division, also known as the binary fission, which is commonly found or commonly observed through microorganism. So, who founded cell theory? It was founded by Robert Hooke, or the first person who coined the term cell. Robert Brown, Matthias Schreider, and Theodore Swan, who contributed in understanding the plant and animal cell, and we have Rudolf Virchow. So we only have three statements under cell theory. So first, it states that all living things is made up of cell. Two, that cell is the basic unit of structure and function of organism. So without cell, there will be no structure and there will be no function. And number three, cells comes from pre-existing cell. It simply means that in order to reproduce a cell, it must come from another cell, which undergoes cell division. So these are example of cell structure. So in the first image, we have the plant cell. In the second image, we have the animal cell. And in the last image is a common image of the unicellular cell, such as the bacteria. Okay. So if we go back during the lesson one, we states that um, uh, eukaryotic cell are more complicated compared to prokaryotic cell. And one of the example or two examples of eukaryotic cell are both the plant and animal cell. So as you can see, it has nucleus at the same time it has many organelles, making it more complex compared to bacteria. Next is the gene theory. Gene theory states that living organisms can pass their traits from or characteristic through their genes. Or genes are found inside the DNA, and DNA is located inside the nucleus, and nucleus is found inside the cell. Now, how about the bacteria? Does bacteria have DNA? What do you think? Okay. Bacteria also has DNA. Okay. The difference is that DNA are not found inside the nucleus, but rather it is found only on its head. Okay. Since bacteria has no nucleus, therefore the DNA are not found inside their nucleus, but rather you can locate it in their cytoplasm. So DNA carries all the genetic information, or basically the traits of the parents, that is passed to the offspring. Ayan. Okay, so we have two kinds of dominance, or how you pass your traits. So we have here the incomplete dominance. So when we say incomplete dominance, there are traits that are not visible to the offspring, since the dominance of the trait is not completed. Okay, just like in this example. So you have a mice who have a parent, which is a black mice and a white mice. Incomplete dominance, since their offspring does not show any color of the both of them, but rather a grayish color. The codominance, on the other hand, also known as complete dominance, as you can see, the traits of the parents are visible to the offspring. Next is the structure and the function. If we try to connect the relationship of the topic of the cell theory and gene theory, we will now proceed to the structure and function. Again, in order for an organism to have structure and function, it must have, very good, it must have the cell. Okay? Now, in order to identify what are the relationship of different organism, we must understand the gene theory. Okay, so structure and function just tell us what are the similarities and differences of each organism, specifically in the structure and the function. So we can trace their relationship to what we call phylogenetic tree. Phylogenetic tree is like a family tree or a diagram that shows evolutionary relationship among organisms. So in this phylogenetic tree, we can see that we are really related to um, monkeys or apes. We can also see in the biogenetic tree that we are under the same, or we are under in one kingdom with the dogs, which is the animal kingdom. By understanding phylogenetic tree, we can identify the taxonomical structure, the taxonomy of an organism. So taxonomy is a scientific study of naming, defining, and classifying groups of biological organisms, wherein it all started with a domain. Okay, di lang kita yung domain dito, but it all started with a domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Wherein domain is the more broad. We only have three domain: the archaea, uh, the eukarya, and then the prokarya. Yes. Okay. And we have the species, which is more specific. By identifying the taxonomy of an organism, we can create with their scientific name. Example, the genus of the human is Homo, and the species of the human is Sapiens. Therefore, our scientific name is Homo sapiens. Now, let us focus on the structure and the function. So we have two kinds, the homologous and the analogous. So when we say homologous, it has same structure but different function. Just like here in the example, the wings, the arms, the paw, and the fin of the whale are similar when it comes to structure. But if you try to understand their function, it is different. Since the wings aim to fly, the fins aim to swim, the paw aims to climb, and the arm aims to grab or hold things. Analogous, on the other hand, is vice versa. So same function but different structure. Best example is if you try to compare the wings of the bat, the wings of the bird, and the wings of the insect. Both of these three animals has same goal or same function, which is to fly, but their structure of their wings are different. So if you try to compare the wings of the bat and insect is much thinner compared to bird and wing. Wing has the largest structure, while the bird wing has the largest structure, while the bat wing is moderate. Okay, it's a little bit thin, at the same time a little bit big. Now let us proceed to the evolutionary theory. So when we say evolutionary theory, it states that an organism undergo evolution in order to adapt. By undergoing evolution, we found our common ancestors. Example is the humans and the monkeys. If we try to look, we all have common ancestors. We all have common ancestors. Okay. Another one is just like this one. Okay, so we have here the snow leopard and we have here the ordinary leopard that we found in our surroundings. If you try to look at their phylogenetic tree, both of them have common ancestors. Now, how come they become different? Because in order a leopard to survive in a cold weather, they adapt or they change their body physically, changing them into snow leopard. Another one is the bears. We have two kinds of bears, the polar bear and the grizzly bear. Grizzly bear cannot survive in the cold region, while the polar bear cannot survive in the warm region. So in order for them to adapt, they try to survive by changing their physical characteristics or they undergo evolution. Even we humans undergo evolution. How? Example, um, the temperature here in the Philippines is a tropical climate. So our body are used to climate that is moderate cold and moderate hot. But if we try to travel from other countries, our body is currently adjusting in order to adapt to their seasons or to their climate. Another way of adapting for humans or survivability for humans is how we adapt on food. There are foods that we do not eat before, but in order to survive and to adapt, we decided to eat them. Example is those insects or worms that are found inside the bark of a tree. If you try to understand, it is not commonly for humans to eat that, but for tribes, in order to survive, they have to adapt.